How are we all doing today? Holy crap, I look terrible. Okay, it's a little better. How are we all doing? It is Thursday night. We have 12, 20 hours. 20 more hours until the weekend, guys. I am so ready for the weekend. I don't know about y'all, but it's been a very long week. I don't really know why. Work hasn't been crazy. Nothing's been crazy over here. It has just been a long week. So I'm very excited to get here, be done. I hope y'all are too. I hope you all had a good week. Hokies, what's up? Simon Brown says, let's go. And the ever delightful Marianne says, hello, everyone. Hello, right back. Lily is here. Wasp, hail. Yeah, that late, I didn't even brush my hair. Well, I was doing a bunch of other stuff. I was, let's just say I was picking the fleas out of my beard. Mash, welcome. I hope you have a great time at the baseball game. And make sure that you're the annoying person that sits behind home plate yelling at the umpire, okay? Because they are a lot of fun to be. I used to be one. Crazy for Wasp. It has been a crazy work week for Wasp. Understood. Man, why won't this open up? Let's end it. Quit Discord. Now open it back up. Great. Now it's blocking my main monitor. There we go. Wow. Okay. Let's say we get started, guys. So first things first, let's check on oil. So for some reason, let's share this. Since this morning, when I search WTI on Google, I get this graph. CLWOO. But that's not what I'm looking for. And that's what I've never gotten before. This is the one that I get. Of course, they always open it on a year. But it's down overall this week. Good news. Oh, I think I just jumped over 97. That's upsetting. But if you have not bought gas in the last couple of days, I would advise go over to a Circle K if you can. Everyone around here is taking like I think $50 off. So I'm gonna stop by tomorrow morning and get some gas. Hey, I try to do it, but you know, sometimes stuff just don't want to work out. So, who's worried about the hantavirus? Anyone worried about this lovely new sickness we got? Hokies, if you give me your exact address, I'll tell you. I'm kidding. Don't do that. Lily is not worried about it at all. Steven doesn't care. Understood. Reasonable. I think that makes a lot of sense. You know what kind of people are they're quaking in their boots, and they are they're what's a really nice way of saying this? They're really, really excited. So these people are really excited about this because you see, they never gave up on masks. They still mask to this day.
Hey, if you're worried about the hantavirus situation, wear a mask, wear a respirator, even outside. This is a head strap one. This is an N95. There are also KN95s, which are just the ear loop ones. The tighter it is to your face, the better, which is why the head straps are a little bit more protective. It basically just creates like a seal to prevent air from coming in or escaping. You can also get these really cool little sip valves so you can drink without taking your mask off, also just reducing risk. It's just like a little, just pop the straw through there. Really easy to cut it. But yeah, I am begging you all, please, for the love of God. I'm seeing so many videos and comments of you being like, I don't have the time. I don't feel like it. Guess what, y'all? Like, did we not learn from 2020 that that's just wishful thinking, and denial is not how we prevent anything? We actually
Wishful thinking and retardation doesn't do anything either, which is all this woman, definitely a girl, right? That's all this is doing. And just like Stephen Brown says, putting a hole in the middle of your mask doesn't do anything to protect you. Like, are you insane? It's almost like all of these people think that the germs are big things that you can just dodge. Oop, oh, you missed me.
need to like take measures, and sometimes they're not that fun. I mean, I'm used to wearing a mask because I've been wearing one since 2020.
How broken do you have to be in life? How deranged, how retarded do you have to be to have continued to? Someone came into a closing the other day wearing a mask, and I genuinely, had to fight every urge to go, so how are you buying a house if you're retarded? Um, she did end up being a nurse, and she had been dealing with some stuff that morning, so that's why she decided to wear one. It wasn't because it wasn't a COVID thing. It was a more of a safety precaution. So I get it. That is why they wear them over in the East. Is it's not a I wear it every day thing. It's a well, I'm some of them might wear it every day over in the East, but from what I understand, it's a I'm not feeling well and I don't want to get anyone else sick. So that's a lot different from I've been wearing it for 6 years because I'm so scared of this virus, which again has a mortality rate of less than the flu. So fuck off. And Hokies right as well. There's a lot of pollution in China.
Um, Still not my most favorite thing in the world. Obviously, I have a beautiful smile. I would love to show it off. I'm a very expressive person. However, that's much less important to me than my long love to show it off. I'm a very expressive person. However, that's much less important to me than my long-term health and the health of other people. So yeah, I am begging you all, please just fucking wear a respirator. If you need to try different kinds, there's a fuck ton of different kinds. If you need to try some, reach out to me, reach out to other people in the COVID cautious community, reach out to your local.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Hang on, guys. COVID cautious community. Are you? Give me 1 second. I just want to make sure it's not going to pull up some personal information or something. No. Oops. Okay. Let's look at this. A free service to find individuals, families, and local business services who take COVID precautions in your area. Do you want to know how you know this is retarded? 19,000 people. There are, depending on which numbers you look at, 6 billion plus people on this planet. 19,000 members. I'm curious. YouTube Studio, Analytics, Views. 167,000 people have viewed King's Advisors over the 4 years it's existed. $41,500 have viewed the King's Court. More people have viewed my YouTube channels, which, let's all admit, as much as we enjoy them, are not the greatest YouTube channel, than have participated in this bullshit. Yeah, but then Steven, they see you and they go, "Oh my god!" Well, I mean, I want to be. I'm honest. Reddit. Oh, is that bra? So this is the Reddit one. So someone made a breathable, wedding appropriate mask cover without compromising filtration. You want to bet? It's in the. You know what, Sean? That's a good question. I think it's unique viewers. You mean the flu has nearly disappeared from Boston? Congrats. Oh my god. This is this week. Disabled, chronically ill, COVID cautious. In California, there's a queer-centered bhakta dance. I can't look at this shit anymore. I don't understand the need to be constantly like scared and terrified of going outside. Like I don't understand the need to just break away from society completely. Like that blows my mind. Oh, thanks, Loquacious. I think it's pretty good too. Andy, what's up? Andy Masterson's gonna show up one day and kick everyone's ass. I don't really want to watch more of her. She just seems super fun at parties. Let's see. I'm gonna get notifications throughout throughout the day because I I followed Insider Wire on Twitter, and I keep getting this happened, and it was honestly it is quite annoying because it does kind of up the need to feel like, hey, I constantly need to check my phone. But you know, it's kind of important to know what's going on. But this happened today. So Tennessee voted and they passed their new map. So what's happening here is you've got the Democrats on the floor, arm in arm, refusing to vote or do anything. You've got them sitting there with noisemakers, and I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna highlight this. You've got them sitting there with noisemakers. You got people in the auditorium screaming their heads off. You got a whole lot of people that are not happy about this. The thing that I thought was great, I think we've got this. Oh, I wonder what this dude's saying as the senators are walking out. I like this guy. I like this guy. Thanks, Steven. I honestly, until you said that, I didn't know what he was saying. This is a sitting member of their, I think it's their Senate. The sitting member acting like a child. Yeah, he burned a Confederate flag. You know what? You know what was actually racist? Caging y'all in a singular district. That's extreme racism. How can you think that's okay? How can you be like, yeah, it's okay for us only to ever be able to get one vote? You know, and let's look at the new South Carolina map. Did I save it? I don't think I did. New SC map. So, former House member Joe Cunningham, who ran for governor down here, he used to be a House member in D.C., says he really likes this. Says he thinks it makes, I think it was 5, 3, 2, and 6 playable for a Democrat. Why are you telling us that? Everyone just gonna go hang out with Jay? Come on, Chick. You owe me $100. No, I'm kidding. So he and a bunch of Democrats are talking about how this is going to make a bunch of seats in South Carolina playable. The lowest seat in here is Trump plus 18. Actually, no. I think 2 becomes Trump plus 13. Okay. If you can win a Trump plus 13 seat, you deserve to win it. You absolutely deserve to win it. If you are that good a candidate that they can overcome a plus 13 advantage, then you deserve it. The problem is the people that this area can spurn, they're all going to come out of Columbia. They're all going to come out right down the street from me. And they're just going to be a bunch of Richland County, City of Columbia talking heads that are going to continue to ruin District 2. And then what's really funny is someone was talking about how, nothing says great representation like when you have someone from North Myrtle Beach represented as the same people from North Charleston. Well, I don't know, sir, if you know anything about North Myrtle Beach or anything about North Charleston, but they're very much the same people. So I got no problem with them being all represented by the same dude. This too. The only one that I even think they really have a shot of taking 3. So 3 is the only one, because if I'm looking at this Columbia map down here, because what they do is they show the map. Here, can I open another tab? Yeah, here we go. So they show the map and then they show the cities so that you can see where the districts intersect. Sean, you been to North Charleston lately? Rundown in Miami is a hilarious descriptor, though. I'm going to use that tomorrow. So let me pull up because I can't really see it. Columbia SC. Okay, so it looks like District 3 is going to go along. That's really dumb. What can I drag? So it's going to go along I-26 here. And down to so this is Fort Jackson right here. It's going to go along here. So this is honestly the only one I would really be concerned about, 3. But I tell y'all right now, Oconee, Anderson, Abbeville, maybe Abbeville, but none of these, Saluda sure as hell ain't, Newberry ain't, none of these counties are voting blue. It's half of Pickens County. That's Clemson, South Carolina. Are you kidding me? So all of that will counterbalance this. Now, like I was saying the other week, things like this little dip into Columbia just to separate that vote there, that does kind of make me a little ill. I don't love it. I put a video out this past week on how Karl Rove was talking about how this kind of redistricting war makes him sick, and he thinks we're above that and all. And honestly, we should be. We absolutely should be. Lance replied saying, "I don't like district rigging either, but I understand why. When a good man goes to war, you shouldn't like it, but that can't stop you from bring your full might to bear. And I absolutely agree. You know, maybe we can get back to the day where we can redistrict a little bit, maybe a little bit more of a fair thing. Maybe eventually we can get to the point where we can district and not try to hold every single seat we possibly can. But until the other side wants to stop being bitches about it, until the other side wants to stop destroying the country, no, I'm over it. I'm ready. I'm ready to take everything. What does this statement mean? I don't. I'm surely I'm not reading this right. If not for gas being out of control, the house would be a coin flip. Is this guy saying that if gas was still, 215, that it would be 50-50 if Republicans took the House or kept the House, I guess? Well, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Thanks, Har. No, I mean that's if gas was still 210, brothers, we're talking 240, 250 seats in the House easy. I still say they're going to win. The Republicans are going to maintain the House. There was somebody, and I'm pretty sure I saved it. Let's see if I can find it real quick. What the hell? I thought I saved this. Shit for 199 says the California no. What's CBP? Southern Border Patrol arrested 28 in San Diego on a Disney ship for child crimes. Customs and Border Patrol. Thank you. Jeez. Pennies and petties. Pedicures. Yeah, it's not. It's not a dim light. Anyone that thinks, and this is the thing that pisses me off about. So I've talked to y'all about this friend of mine, again, real good friend of mine, that sent me another video today from because he's a I won't say a big fan, but he's a fan of Fuentes. And he sent me a video that admittedly I did not watch the whole video. I just asked Grok what it said. But it's a video saying that what we as Republicans need to do is vote for Democrats in safe. Is that right? So the strategy frames voting Democrat as an acceptable fuck you to GOP leadership in safe Republican states like Ohio and federally under continued Trump presidency control till 2028 to force party reform. There is no part. Thanks, Hokies. There is no part of that idea that will actually work out in the favor of everyday Americans, Republicans, American First people, MAGA people, MAGA people, MAHA people. Let's see. There's none of that will work. They already tried this. They tried this in 2006. They did this very thing. A sect of the Republican Party thought that George Bush was going too far into like overall world structure. They wanted him to come back. They wanted the American bureaucracy to look more towards the American people and not towards the world. The Republicans lost 6 seats. They have never picked up another one of those seats since, and they lost 30 House seats. They've picked up like 3 of them since. So to do that is the biggest form of suicide. I do not doubt for a second that this guy is now some sort of plant into the right wing. He is genuinely trying to destroy any progress. First off, and I'm sorry if this is going to piss one of y'all off, okay? And I've said it before, I don't think it will, but if anybody thought, if anyone thought that we were going to wake up on January 21st, the day after the inauguration, and everyone was going to be deported, the Democrats were going to go, y'all won, let's see if you can do it. Sorry, we'll just sit back and vote yes. You're fucking retarded. You are an idiot. If anyone sat there and thought that the Democrats were not going to put up a bigger wall than what they did against Trump in 1.0, then you're crazy. None of this was going to be easy. Look, all of the deportations would have continued. It would have been California 2.0 across the country. But you had circuit courts all over the place. You had federal courts all over the Northeast and the Midwest striking down his ability to do stuff. It takes time to get it to the Supreme Court. So there was no point in sitting there and waiting anymore. What he needed to do was get the stuff done so that he could go and do all of this, so that we could do all of this in the next 2 years. Oh my God. Yeah. Some idiot saying that the price of beef is Trump's fault. It takes 3 years to rear cattle to be able to use them for beef. 3 years it takes. Unless you're using them for veal. The vast majority of beef in this country is not veal. So to act like 18 months, half of the term, is all Trump's fault, you're retarded. But no, voting Democrat is not a way to say screw you to the. You know what you do? You do what Indiana did. You run better candidates. You defeat incumbents that won't move on. You defeat incumbents that won't fight for you and your people. That's what you do. In fact, Marianne, I think beef has gone up 20 cents since he took office, and it was up like $2, $2 or $3 over the course of Biden's presidency. So who's really to blame? Man, everyone leave it. Hokies, you have a great night, man. Wasp, have an even better night. Peace out, guys. But this is the kind of shit that just pisses me off. Wow, that's really cool. Whoa, what happened in Midday Mixer? Ooh, early calls with China. Are you on? Are you going to be on the plane with Trump? Hang on a second, guys. Oh, she's gonna be a crying little bitch. Fun. Um, someone apparently there was a Billy in the chat that Jay crushed. Don't do that. I I'm gonna need to find that. I'll look for it later. So I found this interesting, fellers. Where was it? Hour 2. I will go look for it. You know what? Actually, who wants to watch it now? Was it? I'm assuming it was good. Shit, is the Lego Batman game out now? Or is this an old Lego Batman that X-Wing's about to play? Let's see. Drunk 3PO. Where's Drunk 3PO? There he is. What's up, 73? The 22nd. Okay, it must be an old game X-Wing's about to play. Good. I was going to be pretty damn pissed. Wait, does he take down? Does Jay take down Midday Mixer? Monday Hangover, Monday Hangover. Damn, I think he does. Unless it was on Drunk 3PO's basement, but it shouldn't have been. Nope, that is disappointing. I'll have to find another time to watch it. I'll have to yell at him and tell him to pull it up. I'm really disappointed. So, the LA Teachers Union. I think that was a nice, what do we call them? Damn, what was it? Someone made a joke about it the other day. Okay, Sean. Dang. Not even for members? That's really disappointing. No, the dead air. Dead air. That was a nice dead air moment. So the LA Teachers Union, upon reassignment of any UTLA member, they will be notified within 5 days of the general nature of the allegation against them. So this is about from Secretary Linda McMahon, which still I find wild. Any of the important actions listed here should result in termination or worse. The LA Teachers Union appears to protect the employment of sexual predators over the safety of students, allowing alleged criminals to be reassigned to a different school. Sort of sounds like that place over in the Vatican. What's it called? Let's see, we will advise them they are being reassigned for any of the following categories. Moreover, reassignment will only occur if the nature of the allegation fits one of these descriptions. I don't understand what the little like paper rip thing is, but I guess that's how they decide to do their. See, he got it. That's how they decide to do their little whatevers. An ongoing investigation of alleged misconduct by law enforcement. Use this incident description only when directed not to release details by the investigating law enforcement agency. Sexual harassment of a student, employee, school-related adult, or other community member. Physical or non-physical contact with a student. What is non-physical contact with a student? Like, hello? Is that non-physical contact? Or any behavior directed towards a student perceived to be motivated by sexual interest. Engaging in a sexual or romantic relationship with a student, regardless of their age, or with any other minors outside of LAUSD. Digital, okay. Communicating with students for non-school related purposes in person and or via phone. All of these things should get you kicked out of being a teacher. Honestly, any one of these things should put you on a list. Do we have a list for people that like to talk to children? Yeah, I think we do. It's usually a punishment, but people seem to use it as like a pride moment now. Well, Sean, that's without a doubt. Obviously, only once when proven true. But if you've got any sort of these allegations against you, you should at least be reassigned. I mean, it's sort of like when a cop has an in the line of duty shooting, they get reassigned during the investigation. That's what needs to happen here. Like, you absolutely should be reassigned. You should be what else? I'm getting 1,000 notifications, so my phone's blowing up right now. You should be reassigned, taken off your beat, and basically spend the entire time doing paperwork while the police investigate. There doesn't need to be some school group that investigates. This is something that colleges tried to do. Y'all remember, you might remember, in 2015, the Obama administration launched the It's on Us campaign. And the idea was that it is on you and me to end sexual assault on campuses. And Charlie Kirk talked about this a lot, actually. This is what drew me to Charlie Kirk. This is how I found out about him. He would go onto campuses and then he would talk about this. And one of the claims that It's on Us made was that one out of every 5 men, and I think it was like 1 out of every 3 women were sexually assaulted on college campuses. Those numbers make prison a safer place than a college campus. Just not possible. And so the Obama administration launched this campaign. They did all of this stuff. They based all of this off of a very faulty premise, a very faulty survey done by like NYU. And it basically defined sexual assault as just like touching. Like if I brush by a girl in class trying to get to my seat, this survey defined that as sexual assault. It also allowed for someone who gave consent the night of to retract that consent and claim to have been assaulted. I don't know if anyone knows how consent works, but that's not how it works. Once you have it, you have it until you recall it in the middle of the act. You don't get to decide the next day, oh, I shouldn't have done that, and blame the guy, like we saw throughout colleges throughout the last decade. So, where's I going with this? Oh yeah, and so the Senate tried to pass a bill that required the U.S. Senate tried to pass a bill that required public funded schools. So the vast majority of colleges and high schools, the vast majority, that if a claim was made, if a student showed up and said, this student sexually assaulted me or this student's harassing me, that the school had to notify the police. And the police were required to investigate. Elizabeth Warren blocked that bill, saying that it was evil and mean to make girls go through having to deal with that sort of investigation and that it would be unfair. Well, fast forward to things like, who's the dude? Do y'all remember the Stanford guy that was caught with the young girl and given like 127 hours of community service because it would ruin his future? Brock Turner, right? Yeah. That's how you get shit like that. That's how you get shit like the Duke lacrosse team, who got railroaded and their lives completely destroyed because some harlot decided that she wanted to try to get a quick buck from Duke University. That's how you end up with that shit. And it should be unacceptable. Did y'all see Marco Rubio drop some rap lyrics? Make this kind of bring the energy back up just a little bit. Let's watch this.
They are facing real catastrophic destruction to their economy, generational destruction to their economy, generational destruction to the wealth of their country, imposed on themselves by the actions that they're taking. They should check themselves before they wreck themselves in the direction that they're going. So, look, the time's come for Iran to make a sensible choice. And it's not easy for them to do that, obviously, because they have a fracture in their own leadership system. And apart from that, I mean, the top people in that government are, to say the least, they're insane in the brain. And so we need to address that. They are facing real catastrophic.
I love that. That's absolutely hilarious. And then, of course, we get this. Loved this.
I got to ask you, what is your hope for America at a time such as this?
My hope for America? And my hope for America is what it's always been. I think it's the hope I hope we all share. We want it to continue to be the place where anyone from anywhere can achieve anything. where you're not limited by the circumstances of your birth, by the color of your skin, by your ethnicity, but frankly, it's a place where you are able to overcome challenges and achieve your full potential. I think that should be the goal of every country in the world, but I think in the U.S., we're not perfect. Our history is not one of perfection, but it's still better than anybody else's history. And ours is a story of perpetual improvement. Each generation has left the next generation of Americans freer, more prosperous, safer, and that is our goal as well. And as we come upon this 250-year anniversary, I think we have a lot to learn and be proud of in our history. It is one of perpetual and continuous improvement, where each generation has done its part to bring us closer to fulfilling the vision that the founders of this country had upon its founding.
Damn right.
I got to ask you.
Play that on fucking repeat. I'll tell you what, that's the start of a presidential campaign right there. Somebody's running for president. Absolutely the start of a presidential campaign. Dude, I think it's a lot more likely. But I still said the same thing that I said the other week. I think that he and JD should run. Whoever loses their home state should bow out and support the other. If Vance wins Ohio, and now if both of them win their home state, then it's going to be fun. But whoever loses their home state, you bow out. You become the VP. I want to talk about gas real quick. So I got no idea what Rep Capital LLC is. Followed by some people that I'm aware of. Is it just me, or does it seem like there isn't as much outrage as when this happened under Biden? I think that there absolutely is not anywhere near the amount of outrage that there was when this happened under Biden, for a couple reasons. One, gas was $1.60 under Biden, or at the beginning of Biden's term. Like I remember filling up on, what was it, November 6th? I paid like $32 to fill up, like 18 gallons, I think. Like it was awesome. And then that same gas station for me, like a year later, it was $4.45. We're talking almost $3 whole. Okay. The average gallon of gas has gone up $2.20. That's a lot less than $3. Okay. That 70 cents makes a big difference. Also, we know why. Like, it is obvious. So we can assume, and it might be a little naive, but I'm also basing this on the fact that when we first entered the peace treaty, or the ceasefire, within 2 weeks, it dropped from $3.89 to $3.99, $3.89, depending on how you were paying, to $3.45, $3.55. So it dropped 40 to 50 cents in a week and a half to 2 weeks. So my belief is, and I've said this before, I said it 2 nights ago, that they're going to get all this shit done. Hopefully the White House is right that whatever happened today is not a restart to the war. That, that's what they said. They said they fired on those drone launchers because they fired at the American ships. And then let's see if I can get this. And that it will not be a escalation of tensions. They still expect some deal to come in the next couple of days. So that's my hope. We've heard several times, and no one has said no about it, that that Iran has agreed to give up their the uranium shit. So we'll see. Obviously, it has to happen. But my assumption and my hope would be that after that happens, we will see a significant decrease in the price of gas over the course of a month. Do I like paying more for gas? No, I fucking hate it. Some of y'all are paying a whole lot more than I am. I'm paying premium. Some of y'all are paying $5, $6, $7. One of y'all lives in California, and they're paying, $9 a gallon. People in Australia are paying $10, $19 a gallon. It's terrible. It's one of the reasons why it's ridiculous that the world relies on 2 or 3 choke points of gas. It's retarded. One of the things that should come out of this is the entire world needs to spend some time going, okay, we need to find a better way for oil to transmit the map. If the world's going to continue to rely on what comes out of the ground in the Middle East, one of the most disruptive areas of the entire fucking planet, then we got to figure out a way to get it to places a lot better. I like the idea of the world getting it from us so that we make all the money. But I'd love to see a bunch of Dubais pop up. Not with the same sort of people, but, like Dubais. Tell you what, though, guys, as angry as we get, as disappointed as we get in our leaders and stuff like that, we can all say, at least we're not fucking Australia. Did y'all see what Australia did? Australia agreed to bring home the ISIS members that were Australian. Not in my backyard mentality. Are you talking about like being the world's police? Because I pretty much agree with you. It is. It's absolutely nuts. With HE Governor Roy Cooper. Is this recent? No. What did Roy Cooper do? Like today? $3,500 criminals released early from prison. Irina, I can never say her last name. Irina's killer was one of them. Huh. This is disgusting. yes. Okay. No, I agree with you as well. There are, so this is Leicester Gardens in Britain. Okay, they are fake houses. 23 and 24 Leicester, or something like that. Leicester Gardens. Okay, in Bayswater. They are fake houses. They're facades, and they were built solely to hide the train tracks down here. That's the only reason they're there. That's what we could do. We could easily do that. How awesome would it be to have a bunch of Oil stacks, pumping oil, making our local areas rich, making I don't even give a shit if John gets 9% of the money. I don't care. But if I have to pay $100 less in in energy, absolutely sign me up. But we can beautify it. We've done that shit all the time. It does, yes, it does. It actually acts as a sound buffer. It's the same thing that the retaining walls and the sound walls on the highway do when you're driving by an area that people live on, like the other side of the trees. They have those sound walls. They do the same thing. I drive by one on the way to work, and it's so funny because it's so much taller than the rest of the trees around it. Yes, that's exactly what it is. It's just like the fake buildings in LA that hide the oil wells. It's exactly what it is. So he released 3,500 criminals. Roy Cooper, when he was this when he was the AG or when he was the governor? Governor. So Roy Cooper during COVID, he was the governor from what, like 18 through 24, right? Something like that. When he was the governor, he released 3,500 violent offenders. They might not have all been violent, but clearly a bunch of them were violent. Violent offenders, 18 of which had been charged with murder. He just released them. And of those 3,500, a bunch have gone on to commit murder and other felonious assaults. One of them being Irina's killer. Oh, if this is true, Iran has fired on a Chinese vessel near UAE's Algier port. Oh, on Monday. Damn. It's fucking bullshit. He's a terrible person. 19 innocent North Carolinians have lost their lives because Roy Cooper made a deal with the ACLU and the NAACP to release over 3,500 criminals early from prison during COVID. This needs to be hammered. Like every single person dealing with politics in North Carolina should be just hammering that home. And of course, the other bad news today is that the federal courts found Irina's killer also incompetent in extent to aid in his own defense. So he's going to go to a mental facility for a while, get what's it called, medicated, and then put on trial. But it just sucks that it's going to take even longer for him to be held accountable for what he did. Who is Paul Dans? So Paul Dans is running for U.S. Senate here in South Carolina. Okay. This is what he says. He says, fire bloated administrators, raise teacher pay, get indoctrination out of the schools, Put a high-tech shop class in every middle and high school in South Carolina. Aggressively focus on reading, writing, cursive, and math. This is how you fix South Carolina education. He is 95% correct right there. That would fix a huge amount of the problem. The other thing you do is you move on and you say, you know what? We're not going to make every single student take the SAT. Okay? We are one of 5 states that do that. That's why our test scores are so low, because you get 30% of the people taking this test that don't want to go to college. So they don't care. So they just sit there all day, or they sit there for the morning. They don't actually do it. Sean, I'm okay with paying teachers more as long as they're good teachers. Like I would love to pay the Ryan Clarks more. That was his name, right? Ryan Clark, or is his name? Yeah, Ron Clark. Ron. No, you've got to fix the system before you can pay them. But it's sort of like, did y'all see? You might have. I don't think y'all live on Twitter as much as I do, which is definitely a problem for me. Let's see if I can find this. There's a graph that showed the increase of hirings in the healthcare system. And what it showed is that over the course of, I think it was basically the last decade, the increase of doctors, nurses, like actual people that you deal with when you go to the hospital has been like 10%. You know, it's looked very much like that over the course of the last decade. But when you look at the amount of hiring of administrators, non-health related staff, it's a fucking rocket to the moon. Because all of these hospitals, and this kind of goes back to the fucking lawyers, as much as I hate it. All of these hospitals are so scared of being sued and not being able to do what they need to do, that they hire 1,000 people to watch over one doctor, and it ruins it. It's why healthcare costs so much. It's the same with education. It's why education costs so much. You've got so many people. You can't tell me right now that let's see. Let's pull up a map real quick. So I think it is fair to say this could be mean. Okay, this could be mean. I don't think it is, but I think it's fair to say that the vast majority of the people that attend college all live within 20 miles of a city. You know, I don't think you got a whole lot of people that live here in Georgia going to college. No problem with that. It's not a bad thing. But it's disgusting that what you don't have in those areas along the I-95 corridor, which is one of the poorest areas of the country, especially here in South Carolina, it is ridiculous that you don't have a company like Ford, who is in dire need of technicians, placing a nice, beautiful tech school right here in South Carolina to educate people to become technicians. Because apparently they've got 143,000 openings that they're not able to fill. That's what they told Trump. President Ford, GMC, Chevrolet, they said that we all have like 143,000 openings. We're not able to fill them because no one wants that Rockefeller education system. I don't know what that means. Let's look it up. Is that like a private, let's see, promoting vocationalism and standardized schooling? It aimed to fund schools, raise academic standards, and promote a nation of workers rather than thinkers, focused on factory model schooling, obedience to vocational skills. I think a mix. I think that there is a need for people need to do the shit jobs. And when I say shit jobs, I just mean, and not even the shit jobs. That's rude. That's wrong. People need to do blue collar jobs. You need blue collar people. Okay. They literally are the backbone of the country. Okay. They are how we get shit built. They are how we get shit maintained. You want to live in you want a white collar job like I do. You want to have your AC working. You better have someone that knows how to fix that AC because it's going to break. And I would rather pay John than Pajit. So I think you need a mix. I think you need a healthy push somewhere in high school. Hey, you don't really like sitting here and studying this stuff. Let's see if you're good at like building things. Let's see if you want to go be a crane mechanic, a crane driver. Let's see if you want to go help fix cars. Like that's what you need. And until we bring that focus back to schools, until we bring this idea that, hey, we don't need to just have people go to college, but we're going to be reliant on the Pashits, and we don't need that. But yeah, I mean, I think I'd say that's a solid thing. I don't like the idea of obedience. I think this is what I do not want to see is some like trying to make sure no one questions anything like that. That will ruin the country. But yeah, you need people who are willing to do the work. I think if Ford set up a school system or sponsor, but this is how you get away with that, Sean. Sponsor the program. You sponsor it. You say, hey, I'm going to use South Carolina again. What's a I-95 Allendale, I think. Hey, Allendale School District 3. We'd like to send someone down there to help teach students how to fix Fords. We'll build the building. We will supply the cars. We'll supply the technician. And then you get to take a tax break. Those are the tax breaks I'd like to give. I don't think we need to give Scout a tax break to build their headquarters in fucking Charlotte. I think we need to give someone a tax break to actually help the country, help the state. Like the amount of tax breaks we give to all of these businesses that really don't help the locales or the state is ridiculous. Okay. I don't know. What do y'all think about that? Right here, too. They never do work as they're supposed to. in the entire time that I've been aware of them, I'd say I've seen like one or two work, but the vast majority of them do not work. Let's see. Just looking to see if there's any other like crazy stories. I don't think there's anything I'm not aware of. Well, what about what about the shit in Virginia? Oh, actually, so I found out something today. Okay, so yesterday I had to pay my student loans yesterday. Great part about going to law school, student loans. So I paid those, and I was looking at something, and I was talking. So I'm on an income based repayment plan. Okay, so I don't pay the full amount that I'm supposed to. I'll just pay a portion based off my income, and everything kept saying, hey, don't forget, after 20, 25 years, these are forgivable. Like they'll be forgiven. And I'm sitting there thinking, there's no way I pay even close to half the principal in the time that in 20 years. And I was talking to a friend of mine that's also on one, and he was like, yeah, no, that won't happen. But again, don't forget that the year that they're forgiven, you'll have a giant tax burden because they'll be treated as income. So in the next 25 years, I need to find a lot of money. So wish me luck. That was a fun conversation this morning. I'm gonna watch that later. Republicans on track to flip Michigan's U.S. Senate seat with Mike Rogers leading by nearly 4%. Still got a lot of time. We got 4 months, but that'd be pretty great. Let's see. I don't think there's anything else. What was that? Whoa, I'm gonna remember that. Yep. Oh, how about this? This is cool. This is really neat. Oh, Sean, they were. I did not watch them. I saw little clips, but not enough to sit here and talk about them. I also forgot to save them, which one day I'll remember how to do stuff a little bit better. but this is super neat. USPS announces that they may soon allow people to ship handguns through the mail for the first time in 100 years. But Lily, I'm going to look that up. What do y'all think about this? No deadline to certify election results in Virginia. Yeah, I saw there was one. Who's the sheriff? What's his name? I don't think so, Horror, because they were already shipped through the USPS for that, weren't they? Yeah, May 5th was the deadline. Yeah, Bianco. Bianco's been really fun to watch. There was one crazy, and let me see if I can find it. Where Porter decide, oh, this is it. Shit. Very first search.
Got to enforce the existing sanctuary laws everywhere, so we don't have crazy cowboys taking the law into their own
Tell
hands.
that to a crazy mother who lost her child.
Sir, I don't need any lectures from you about being a mother.
Of course, you might.
Okay. Got to enforce.
Oh my gosh. Honestly, they're both pretty great. Still have to do a 447 though. You could ship them via FedEx or UPS, but I had to go. Okay. So will if the post office lets you do it now, will they still have to? Will you still have to use the 4473? You know who he reminds me of? Did y'all watch Yellowstone? Did y'all watch Yellowstone? Because he reminds me of Kevin Costner as the governor for that first 5 episodes that we got him as governor before they ruined the show. They've had several governor debates though. Like in the last 2 weeks, there's been like 3 of them. Well, guys, it's been. They drove the motorcade out onto the reflecting pool so Trump could get a look at it. That's hilarious. Oh, Sean, I know. That's how that's how Schwarzenegger became governor. That's hilarious. I love it. Big fan, big fan, big fan of him. I'm not saying everything he's done is perfect. It's not. I have a lot of complaints, but I am a big fan, and I completely and mostly agree with him. Yeah, they did a recall election, but they still had to go through that stack system. I forget what the name of that is, but that they still had to have a full election. So he won an election after a recall. Hang on. Can I? I cannot. Yeah, Sean, just happened in a year that wasn't supposed to happen. Mm-hmm. Damn. Well, fellers, I'm gonna call it there. I'm gonna send y'all over to Joe Rosie. They're currently playing Uno. I think they're supposed to play Fortnite later. Tell her I say hello. I hope you all have a great night. Do not forget, there's good worth fighting for in this world. It will get better. The sun will rise. And it is only darkest just before the dawn. Hang on. Wait for it.